Yes, yes, you're audible, but your screen is not visible. Like we cannot see anything. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't.
Acha, it is showing me connecting only. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So
Acha,
I mean,
I mean,
don't
before
know.
we proceed further, I just wanted to confirm your name. I was calling you Rupam, like it is Laksh or
Yeah.
Rupam.
My name
It
is
is
Rupam.
Rupam.
Lux
Okay.
is
Okay.
actually Lakshmi. So who is handling this? I mean, from
Acha.
our
Okay.
organization. So her name is
Okay.
Lakshmi, and I am logged in with her ID. That's what.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So I think, yeah, in the beginning, I did not give my introduction also. I think we started off directly, right? So somehow we just got into the session, I think. Anyways, uh, I'm into this technical field for more than 18, 19 years now. So having served with most of the organizations, so even I have given this training to NSDL as well, and to
Okay.
companies. I was invited as guest lecturer for IIM Bangalore, and I've given sessions to in Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) as well. So a lot of opportunities, I would say, and definitely
Mhm.
National Stock Exchange is that feather in my cap, definitely. So I look forward to this session as a very good interactive session. So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So thanks. So I mean, definitely my journey is older than this particular tool. So started off in 2003. So a lot of things, ups and downs have changed, I have seen. And the best part of my training is I'm a part of projects also. So I'm right now a data governor for one of the Emirati companies. And so I try to give those insights because today everybody has got data. Even NSC has got data, even government of India has got data. So privacy policies are coming in a big way. So big companies, like you have heard about Tim Hortons, you have heard about British Airways, you have heard about JW Marriott, and then how they had to pay a hefty price in terms of data privacy and policies infringement. So being in the shoes of data governance, I know that okay, right now we are talking about data, but slowly we are moving towards the governance of the data. So my sessions, I keep in mind that I can give the holistic view, not only just show the rosy picture, but also tell you that okay, what is going to come after you see all these modelings and reports and everything. What is the next step that is going to come in your way? So those all things also I will be telling you. So anyways, over to the session. Uh, so right now you can see that we have got the GDP data. Absolutely. This is available on the internet and we are seeing the data. Any questions, anybody? No. Okay.
I would request you to repeat this step,
Okay,
the
sure.
last one, because
Hmm.
the audio was not able.
Okay, sure. See, what we did is we got this, let's say, right? So when we got the data, we were just having list and record. Then we clicked on the list and it came like this. After that, we converted it to table and it came like this. And after that, what we did is we clicked on this particular double-headed arrow and we simply said okay, right? And we were able to see the data like this.
So how to convert it to the table, sir?
How to convert it into the table? See, when we were here, there is an option in the transform menu which says to table. So we have to click on this option called to table, and then it will ask you can just say okay and it will convert to table. So in this list, you just say to table and it will work. So okay, let me just show you once again. So suppose we are here, we went to transform and then we went to this option called, so right now it is a list, right? So we go to table and it will ask like this. You simply say okay and it has converted to table. And then what you do is you go to this double-headed arrow and we say OK, and we will be able to see all the data points. So are we good till here? Are we able to do this? I mean, do we have visibility until here? Columns?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So now, you see there are some challenges over here. So let me just tell you the challenges one by one. First of all, you see the column names, all the column names have column 1, column 1, column 1, column 1 repeated, right? So where was the issue? Why this column 1 came? So we did not actually follow through. So when we were just taking this, there was a small checkbox over here. So which says use original column as prefix. We should have unticked this one, but we forgot to do this. And what happened is we are now over here. So we have two options. Either we go back to this, we can just say, I can just delete it and then redo it over again. Or I have a second option. What the second option is, you go to this expanded column and then go to this small gear symbol over here. And then what you do is you remove this column 1. That's it. You remove the column 1 and you say OK, and it will come properly. Okay. So these are all what we are learning today are all data cleansing activities. That okay, if I get data like this, what to do? If I get data like this, then what to do? These are the challenges you might face when you are getting data from different sources. So we are just trying to mitigate that. Next, you see that the value, which is the actual GDP, is coming in what? You can just click on this GDP data, which is the value data. And then you can see at the top, it says any, like this. So what we need to do is, we need to just go to this option called, and we know that this is a whole number. So we can just go to this option called whole number, and we will be able to see the number. So now it is a value. So now it is a value. So now you are able to see the numbers down. So here it is a scientific number kind of thing, but doesn't matter. But the main number is visible over here. This is the main value. Now there are certain things like unit. Now I don't need the unit. So what I can do is I can just right click on this unit and I can say remove. I have removed one. Like that, I have multiple, data points like this, right? Multiple data points. So I click and then I can just press the control key and I can keep clicking the columns that I don't want. So I can press the control key and then I can click the third one also. So suppose the country ISO and the OBS status and the decimal data, these three columns I don't need. So what you can do is you can simply click on this option and say remove columns. That's it. So the idea is to clean up the data. Whatever is not required, you can just remove it. That's the way it works actually. Okay. So now let's go to the other things. So now let's say we have something like a column called indicator. What this means, so indicator, and then you can see that it says record like this. So I'm not able to see the data, which means that beyond this record, there is some data point actually, which is already there. So then what happens is you just click on this particular arrow and you say that, okay, there is the ID and there is a value. What you can do, you can take this ID and value, but don't take this option called use original column as prefix. Don't take this. And you say yes. So now you can see that it is the GDP value. Next, you are going to see another column, which is the country. Same goes here also, indicator, and you say okay. So, and you can see that it shows me India. So now I know that this data is for India only. There is no other table. So this is GDP data. There is no other form. This is an ID number. This is ID. So all these things are absolutely same. When these all things are same, and this is India's GDP, I don't require all these columns over here. So now I will show you one simple technique. The technique is, so suppose first of all, this particular date, it is coming as date over here. This is coming as ABC123. Why can't we convert it into either a whole number or something like this? So if you convert it into a whole number, then automatically what will happen is, I'll show you. So if you just convert it into whole number, it will become like this. So it will come like on the right hand side and then the numbers. Now listen to this very carefully. So suppose you have 500 columns and you want to remove 495 columns. So there are two ways. One, you keep highlighting 495 columns. But wouldn't that be good if I can just highlight the 5 columns and then say remove rest of them? That's it. So it would be great, right? So that's the ask. That is the ask that we are talking about over here. So what we will do is, we will straight away click on this 2 columns, and then we will go to this option called remove columns. That small drop down you will be using. Don't click on the icon, just use the small drop down and you simply say remove other columns and you immediately see the difference. Can you see how many steps we have done over here? So we started off from here. This was the data. Then we navigated the data. Then we converted it into table. Then we expanded the data. Then we changed the data type. Then we removed some of the columns. Then we expanded the indicators. Then we expanded the country also. Then we changed the data type. And then we removed the other columns. So many tasks. Now, tomorrow, if the data is changing, then you don't have to do all these tasks. It will automatically be taken care of. That is what it suggests. That is what it means over here. So now what we did is, we went to a JSON file. And we got the data. We cleansed the data. And now it is the turn to actually close the file. So we close the file. So that's the GDP data that has come. We wanted to check GDP analysis. So what we do is, we go to this particular value. And then if we go to this particular date, you will see how India's GDP has increased over time. This is India's GDP. So suddenly, in the year, in 1980s, Industrial Revolution came, 1970s, 1980s, and we started seeing. And then the moment information age touched, which is almost around 2000. So last 20 years, we are seeing such a great spike in the GDP. So right now, we do not have the 2020 data. Otherwise, it might have shown some dip over there due to COVID situations. But otherwise, the GDP growth has been tremendous. And what you are seeing over here is directly JSON data fed from online source. And I mean, now if you want, you can compare other countries also. If you say that, okay, I have US GDP data, or I have China GDP data, something like this, then what you can do is you can bring that data over here and compare. So there are multiple ways. I mean, there are multiple charts and other things. We are not discussing about the charts right now. The point over here is to bring different types of data into Power BI and then discuss about the same. Right. So this is Power BI's power to get the data from JSON file. We save this particular file and we will now go towards a different type of file. So back to back, we will be working with 2-3 different types of file. So at least one more today we will be working, and then tomorrow we will be taking a fresh data and then work. Or we will be using this same data along with other parameters or so. So based on the requirement of the data. Any queries? Okay. So okay. Any questions? Anything? So right now, what we saw is that data can be ingested from JSON or any other data sources or types or something like this, right? So mainly, what I just wanted to ask you about that, okay, if I have data coming from a JSON file, then what will happen? This data was coming from an online source. But remember, now let's say we have got direct file, a file which is containing JSON data. Then what will happen? So now what I'm doing is I'm closing this particular file. And we will be opening some other files over here. So I'll take you to some simple, I mean, we will do a recruitment cost analysis right now. So any organization has got recruitment, right? So we will see how to work with those kind of files. This data is has come from, let's say, SAP, and it has come in the form of a JSON. And we will learn how to work with that particular file over here. So if you could please go to the folder called Human Capital. And there you will find there are two folders. One is a JSON folder and one is Excel folder. Let's open the Excel folder first of all. Just I wanted to show you that, okay, how the data would look like, that thing. And then I will be showing you in the Power BI part. So suppose we have this, suppose I have this CSV file, core HR. So if you open this particular core HR, you will see that it contains of data like employee data, some state or some, let's say, department, position, the rate, pay rate, managerial data, and all of this above. We have a data which shows that from which source, which employment source this employee has come. So that we are able to see over here. This is one data. So where I'm able to see that, okay, this employee has been hired, but from which source this employee has come, right? This is one type of data. Second type of data is, so I don't save this. I don't use this also. This I can close. Second type of data is something like this, which is actually pivot data. So you would agree that this is a pivot data. So there was a data, and from there was a pivot that was drawn, and this is the output of that pivot data actually. So I hope all of you will agree to this, right? So now, if that is the case, what we have to do over here is that we got this particular data, and it says January, February like this, March, April like this. So usually, if I have got this data, for the first thing that I have to do is I will just cut this data and then paste it over here. Again, I will cut this data and then I will paste it over here. Again, I will cut this data, paste it over here. Like this, it will keep on moving like this, right? So eventually what will happen is, most of the cases you will end up doing manual things. But when Power BI is there, we need not be doing anything manual. So that's the task, that's the work that I'm going to show you right away. So now we will not be working with CSV data, because CSV data anyways you can ingest in Power BI. You can anyway do that. I'm going to show you something complex. The data that I'm going to take, the same data we will be taking. So CSV Excel file was just to show you how the data looks like. Because when you see the same data in JSON file, you might not be able to understand how the data will be ingested. So Power BI has got the flexibility, has got the power to take this particular data as well, to take this data into its environment. That is how it works. So even if you see this core HR, you see how the data looks like. This is how the data would look like actually. Okay, so let me now take you. So let's open a fresh Power BI file. So today we are just working on the gathering, just data gathering. So I hope, and what I will do today is that definitely I will be sharing these files with you. So you can see this learning, and I will be sharing you this file today. So tomorrow, once you get Power BI, you should be able to directly work from there. So you don't have to put time and effort to just go through the entire thing. So I mean, you have already seen this, and I will be sharing these files with you today itself. So this is a new file, and I'm saving this file in the beginning itself. So let's say this is demo recruitment analysis. And then what we do is we go to get data. We will not go to web right now, because this is not coming from an online source. This is coming from an offline source. Somebody has given me a JSON file to work. That's why I cannot go to web over here. So what I do is I go to this option called more. And the moment you click on more, you will see there's an option called JSON. And you simply say connect. And then what you need to do is we need to go back to the folder where we have saved the data. First, we take the core HR. We say open. So it is getting ingested. Automatically, you will see that it opens Power Query, the ETL tool, because it is not able to make any sense out of my data. It's in tag format mainly. So now, what the first task what we need to do is we go to the same option, to table, and then we say OK. Automatically, you will see that it is showing me the column. We click on the double-headed arrow, but this time we will not make that mistake. We will say uncheck. So make sure that you have unchecked this and simply say OK. Okay. So you can see the entire data has come. So nothing to be done as of now. We are just getting the data. That's it. So we just got the data core HR. Nothing else to be done. Now what we will do is we will say close and apply. One JSON file has come. Now the next part, getting to the data. JSON, say connect. And this time I will be taking the recruiting cost. Same answer. We have 22 items. We say to table. We don't take the header and we say OK. So now you can see it's coming as like this. So Jan, Feb, March, like this it is coming. So here the employment source is coming, but the columns are coming like this. So this is kind of a pivot. So we will not be able to make sense out of a pivoted data. This will not make sense. So what we need to do is we need to first of all unpivot the data. Now, watch this step carefully. Certain things are there which we have to use just business ideas and understanding and then do it. For example, when we have every month data, do we really require the total column? Because when we have every month's data, we can calculate total by ourselves, right? So why do we require the total column over here? We don't require the total column. So we can just click on this total column and we can simply say remove. So we will be saying remove like this. So now we have only Jan to December directly. And now what we need to do is we have this particular data which is coming as per month, Jan, Feb, March, like this it is coming, right? So if it was Excel, how will you manage this? Because being January, February, March like this, you will not be able to do any analysis on top of this because it is already in a pivot format. So what would you suggest if it was, I mean, Excel? What would you suggest? How will you make this data manageable and ready for analysis? Anybody? What is your suggestion? Anyone? You have data in columns. So it is more of like a tabular data, but it is already in a, what you call it as, pivotal data. So you cannot make a pivot out of a pivot. So what we need to do? Have you ever tried unpivoting a data? Have you heard about the term or technology called unpivot? So once you have a pivot data, do you know how to unpivot that data? Have you tried that? Unpivot means transpose the data. So right now you have data in this column format. It will come as rows like this. Okay. Any idea? Anyone? Okay. No worries. See this. See, the idea is to bring this January, February, March one below another. That's it. So for that, we have a technique called unpivot. How do we maintain this unpivot? So what we need to do is we click on, so suppose we have so many columns that we want to unpivot. So we don't have to highlight each one of them. Instead, what we can do is we can just click on the column which doesn't need to be unpivoted. So which doesn't need to be unpivoted. So you click over there and go to the option called transform. And then we simply go to this option called unpivot column. And you say unpivot other columns. That's it. Unpivot other columns. And then what you can do is, now this is by default it will come as attribute and value. So what you can do is you can just call this as, let's say, calendar month, and this one you can call it as amount. Let's say this is amount. What you can do is you can just make it as a whole number like this. So now you have an amount, then you have the calendar month, you have employee source. Now you might ask that, okay, why this is ABC? If I just click on this calendar month, it is showing text, but this is date, right? So Power BI says that, okay, you know this is date, but I don't know it is date because January, February could be somebody's name also. So I cannot see this pattern and then make this as date. So then what you need to do is we actually go back and say close and apply. So you say close and apply. So you can see that automatically it has come to these two columns like this. So, okay, we will take a break right now. And once we come back from the break, we'll continue with this. But before we go to the break, I will just give you some just understanding of this particular data. So right now, if you see, this is my employees, this is my employee source, and here also I have employment source. I try to connect them. It will not work. So why I need to connect? Because you saw, right? Last time it was getting connected, and then without connecting, you cannot make any kind of link or something like this. So absolutely not possible, right? So what we need to do is we need to connect these two, but directly we cannot connect. So what we need to do is I'll just show you. We just go to this option called transform data. So next 2 minutes, just observe this very carefully. You saw the idea that, okay, both of them were not getting connected. That was the problem. How do we mitigate this problem? Watch this. So now I want a table. So what is happening is a particular employment source is coming multiple times here also, and that employment source is coming here also multiple times, here also multiple times, and here also multiple times. Absolutely. So it is very difficult to connect them because multiple times cannot connect. We need to have one place where this employment source should be showed only once. Now, if I have to make another table which will just have this employment source once, which table should I use? Shall I use core HR or shall I use recruitment cost? Which table I should be using? As per your understanding, what do you think? Which will have, I mean, according to business, understand these things, concepts, and tell me, I want to make a duplicate table so that I can connect both of them. I will make the duplicate table, and then I will remove the duplicate so that I can get the employee source only and then connect both of them. Which table I should be using? Any idea? Anyone? 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 Any idea? No? Yes, absolutely, Abhishek. So it would be recruitment cost. So why did we say recruitment cost? See, just understand from the business perspective. Recruitment cost will have all the recruitment sources, right? So first of all, when you plan to have a new recruitment source, first of all, it will be over here because first you spend, then you get. So it might be that you have spent on something and you have not got an employee. That is possible, right? So first of all, data will be there in recruitment cost. So what you need to do is see how simple it is. So we go to the transformation of the data and we straight away right click over here and say duplicate. See how easy it is to duplicate. So we just made a duplicate table and we are calling it as mapping. Any name I can give, mapping table. And then what I do is, I need remove duplicates, right? So what I do is, these two if you keep, then you cannot remove duplicates. So what you need to do is, you right click over here and you remove these columns. And then finally, what you do is, right click on this and you say remove duplicates. That's it. So first of all, what you did, you made a copy of this. You made a copy of this recruitment cost. And then what you did is, you removed these columns. These two columns were there. You removed these columns. And then you remove the duplicate. That's it. And now you go back to the model. And it is loading. And you should see that. See, it is getting connected automatically. So the mapping table is connected with this recruitment cost automatically. What we need to do over here is to just change this to employment source over here, and it will get connected. You will see automatically it has got connected. So this was the exercise that we wanted to do. Now, once we come back from break, so I'm just there's a mock drill over here. So I need to be a part of that. So I will just be coming. It should be over by 30 minutes.